For some reason, this bag has gone viral and it constantly sells out on their website. This is a very different trend to maybe when the pochette accessories was more popular, you know, with the logos. Even, you know, the Murakami was quite trending like last year, but now people are going for these very minimal style bags. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jess. Today I wanted to talk about recession core trending bags, and you may ask, what is recession core? Well, I believe it was a TikTok trend, and I don't really use TikTok, so I'm not too sure. But just like, you know, yesterday I was just thinking, what should I talk about today? And then recession core fell into my brain, so thought I might do some more research on the aesthetic. What is recession core? Amid economic turmoil, recession core is the TikTok coined aesthetic trend that prioritizes usefulness over embellishment. So over the past few years, I've definitely noticed that we had a lot of, like, you know, Diamante bags, logos, Chanel, Gucci, all that. And recession core is basically a response to that. And I guess it is basically the quiet luxury trend, but I wanted to talk about bags that I think are really trending right now that kind of fit into this style. Trends come and go, so I'm not necessarily saying you should invest in recession core, but I do think it is just good to be aware of the trends and whether you're just getting sucked into it or what. Now, some of these bags that are trending at the moment, I personally actually really like them. One of the bags that I've noticed, or bag silhouettes that I've seen across a few brands, is the more rectangular top handle plain bag. So something like this plume bag, which is a bag that I think came out in like around the 1960s from Hermes, and I noticed this last year on their runway show. They had a few, they had the mini plume bag, and then they had a larger plume bag in the size 32, I believe. And I did pick up a vintage plume because I was kind of inspired by the runway show. This one's from the year 2000 and it's in the color blue jean. And I also picked up this from a really lovely subby who sold it to me. This is the mini plume. This is one from, I think it could be more modern day. It could be from like 2020, 2019, something like that. And I think that Hermes is probably going to release more plume bags this year as well. So this silhouette, I do think that it is pretty low key. It's also very practical, not really overly embellished, although I have decked it out in some bag charms, which I think is also trending. Like, it's kind of that Jane Birkin charmed out personalized aesthetic is very in fashion at the moment. But I think there is a lot of these like plain bags that are coming out that are very popular. I did notice on the Louis Vuitton 2024 recent runway as well, they had this bag, this mini bag that was a very similar silhouette to this, and it didn't really have much branding on it either. And you know, Louis Vuitton, they bring out so many crazy bags all the time, but they do have their more low-key styles as well. Also, of course, at Miu Miu, they have a bag that is a really it bag right now. I see it all over my social media. And it's this rectangular top handle bag that is very similar shape to this, and it's commonly seen decked out in lots of charms and yeah, crazy stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, there is still that like embellishment, is like kind of element to it, but it's more of like a personalized DIY look, like things that, embellishing it with things that look cheap, like, you know, like friendship bracelets or plushies, not really necessarily designer embellishments. Like, you know, Jane Birkin, she used to stick stickers on her bags and all sorts of souvenirs that probably weren't classified as luxury, but they did add her own personality to the bag. So yeah, there's that kind of trend happening at the moment. I really like the plume bag, so I would recommend getting one just because even if it is currently trending, I do think that it's a pretty classic bag and it's pretty useful as well, and low-key. It's just a really cute, like, easy bag to grab. With Louis Vuitton, again, they have this line at the moment called the low-key collection, and there is a hobo bag called the low-key hobo. Yeah, it doesn't have much branding on it, but again, I think it fits into the recession core aesthetic because it looks very practical. And although the last you know, year or so we've had all these like little micro bags and more fancy designer things, I think recession core is more surrounded by practicality. It looks like a great everyday style. It does have a bit of logo mania inside. It has that signature Louis Vuitton canvas pouch that you can sometimes get with like the Neverfulls and that sort of thing, but the overall style of the bag is very low-key. It's very minimal. It does have like a little lock on the side which adds a bit of decoration, but for Louis Vuitton, I would say it's not usually something that I would see them doing, but I see that they're inspired by the trends at the moment. The Row is very good at designing bags that I think fit into this aesthetic, very practical, lived-in looks. Of course, there's the Margot bag, but another bag that I've been seeing pop up on my YouTube is the 90s bag, which is a very minimal pochette, which I think could be a great, like, you know, just grab and go bag. I really like it personally. I would admittedly probably add a bag charm or some scarf or something to jazz it up, because to me it's a little bit too minimal. But I think it looks really cute, and it's very sleek in the way it's designed, you know, just a very thin strap, very simple structure. But for some reason this bag has gone viral and it constantly sells out on their website. And this is a very different kind of, I guess, trend to maybe when the pochette accessories was more popular, you know, with the logos. Even, you know, the Murakami was quite trending like last year, but now people are going for these very minimal style bags. From Burberry, a lot of their bags at the moment don't really have prominent logos. And, you know, Daniel Lee, he doesn't usually design like logo mania bags. I mean, if you look back at what he did with Bottega, the pouch bag, the cassette, they all had these very recognizable silhouettes, but not necessarily logos. And for Burberry, one of the key, like, I guess, bags that are said to be the new hot bags for Burberry is this night bag. And I have recently seen it on a few celebrities as well, like Gemma Ward. It's a very slouchy bag, does have a really utilitarian hardware element to it. You know, Burberry is very much known for their outerwear and the outdoors, and I guess practical pieces for your wardrobe. So this bag, it does kind of have that essence of just an easy everyday slouchy bag. The leathers that it comes in, such as the crinkle leather, has a real lived-in look, and I think that this does look quite practical. It's not a bag that you necessarily have to baby. I personally really love it in the suede color, in the tan. I think that's such a gorgeous finish, and suede bags have definitely recently been coming back in fashion as well, I've noticed. Mainly a shoulder bag, but in the bigger sizes you can wear it crossbody as well, and it has this really laid back, easy look to it. Personally, I really love what Acne Studios is doing. Now, Acne Studios is a contemporary brand, but some of their bags are rather expensive actually, so I think they're trying to get more up in the higher fashion area. But they have this bag called the multi-pocket bag, which has this kind of distressed look, again similar to the night bag, but I really like the little bow element. Now, this might not quite fit into the recession core aesthetic. I think it has a bit too much like happening with it, but I just wanted to point it out because I have noticed it a little bit on my social media as well. And it's not like a tiny useless bag. It definitely will fit a lot, and the distressed leather gives it that kind of lived-in carefree vibe that I think is currently trending. I personally love it in the painted leather in the red, which I feel like is a bit more loud and out there. If you wanted to go for more the low-key vibe, probably you would go for the distressed look. Or from Acne, I would say the Musabi midi shoulder bag fits more into the trend of recession core. Definitely more low-key. The branding is hardly recognizable on it. It just has very small embossed Acne Studios on the top. It's 2,700 Australian dollars, so it is probably considerably lower than, like, for example, buying the Louis Vuitton low-key hobo. And I quite like the bow elements at the side. I think it's quite cool. It's quite unique. So yeah, I personally really like what Acne Studios is doing at the moment, and if I had to buy a bag from them right now, it'd probably be that red patent leather one. I just think that's so cute. Yeah, I don't know, I just wanted to point that bag out because I like it. And from Lemaire, they have a bag called the croissant bag, which has been trending for a few years now, and I've noticed a lot of brands kind of rip it off as well. I do think that this looks like a great practical bag. You can wear it crossbody and it fits all the essentials, although it doesn't have any significant branding. The silhouette in itself, I guess, could be, it's more if you know, you know kind of bag. And I do like how practical it looks. They've released a few other new variations of it in more fortune cookie shapes, which I think are quite cute as well. I particularly like the beige one because it literally looks like a croissant. The croissant bags come in either grainy leather, or they have coated cotton variations, which I think is pretty interesting. Let me know, do you like any of the bags I've mentioned today, and have you noticed them trending in your local area. I have seen a few people in real life wear these bags. Not so much the Row, but definitely more Acne Studios. Thanks for listening to my blabby video today. Hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you guys on my next one. Bye!